He was born in a small town in South Korea, the youngest of 5 children. Life hit him hard from the very start. His father passed away when he was only 2 years old, and his mother remarried several times. Kim grew up poor, working odd jobs just to survive, shining shoes, guiding tourists, anything that could put food on the table. But in 1976, Kim found boxing, and from that moment, his life changed. He wasn't just fighting opponents in the ring. He was fighting his own struggles, his poverty, and his past. By 1978, he turned professional, and in just a few years he became a star in Asia. In 1982, he won the Orient and Pacific title, and soon, the World Boxing Association ranked him as the #1 challenger. His professional record looked solid: 17 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. 8 of those wins came by knockout. Kim was ready for the biggest fight of his life. That fight would be against America's pride, Ray Mancini. The stage was set in Las Vegas, November 13th, 1982, right outside Caesar's Palace. For Kim, this was his first time ever fighting in North America. The US media didn't think much of him, but Mancini himself knew this wasn't going to be easy. He called it a war, and it was. From the opening bell, both men went at each other like warriors. Kim pushed Mancini to the edge, swelling his eye, tearing open his ear, even making Mancini's left hand swell twice its size. At one point, Mancini thought about quitting, but he held on. By the later rounds, Mancini's punches began to land more. In the 11th, Kim's knees buckled. Still, he fought back. In the 13th, Kim even came roaring forward again, earning the respect of Sugar Ray Leonard, who was commentating ringside. Then came round 14. Mancini came out fast. He hit Kim with a hard right. Kim staggered back, tried to defend, but another right hand sent him crashing into the ropes and down to the canvas. Somehow, Kim pulled himself up on shaky legs, but the referee stopped the fight just 19 seconds into the round. Mancini was declared the winner by TKO, but the fight didn't end there. Only minutes later, Kim collapsed. He was rushed to the hospital, where doctors discovered a severe brain injury, a massive blood clot inside his skull. Surgery couldn't save him. After 5 long days in a coma, Kim Duk-Koo passed away on November 18, 1982. He was just 27 years old. His death sent shockwaves across the world. Boxing authorities quickly reformed the sport, reducing championship bouts from 15 rounds to 12 to better protect fighters. Kim had never fought a 15-round fight before. Mancini had, and in the end, that difference cost him his life. Kim Duk-Koo's story is tragic, but it changed boxing forever. He stepped into the ring chasing his dream, and though he didn't leave as a champion, he left as a man who made the sport safer for everyone who came after him. After Kim Duk-Koo's tragic death, Ray Mancini carried so much weight in the mind. He blamed himself, convinced that his fists had taken more than just a fight. They had taken a life. Friends tried to comfort him, reminding him it was an accident, but the guilt never fully left. Even his promoter, Bob Arum, said, Mancini was never the same. 2 years later, Mancini lost his world title. The fighter known as Boom Boom still stepped into the ring, but his spirit had dimmed. The ripple effects of Kim's death spread quickly. Just 4 weeks after that fatal night, another fight took place at Caesar's Palace. Mike Weaver versus Michael Dokes. The referee stopped the bout only 63 seconds in, calling it off far too early. Fans were outraged, but the referee admitted he was under strict orders. The Nevada Commission had warned, always protect the fighter's health, remember Kim Duk-Koo. But the real heartbreak came off the canvas. Kim's mother had flown from South Korea to Las Vegas, sitting by her son's side in his final moments before life support was turned off. Just 3 months later, broken by grief, she ended her own life by drinking poison. And the tragedy didn't stop there. Richard Green, the referee who had stood between Mancini and Kim that night, also took his own life the following year. Kim had left behind more than just memories. He left behind a fiancée, Lee Young-mi. At the time of the fight, she was carrying their unborn child. Despite strict rules in South Korea forbidding boxers from having girlfriends, Kim had chosen love. In July 1983, their son, Kim Chi-won, was born. He grew up not as a fighter, but as a healer, becoming a dentist. Decades later, that son wanted to meet the man who had last stood across from his father. Author Mark Kriegel arranged it while writing Mancini's biography. In 2011, Lee Young-mi and Chi-Won flew to Santa Monica, California. There, cameras rolled as two families came face to face. Mancini stood with his own 3 children, Ray Jr., Leonardo, and Carmenina, waiting. He told the crew, "We've got one shot. I'm not doing this again. What you see is what you get." When Kim's fiancé and son finally arrived, it wasn't just a meeting. It was closure. It was a son connecting with a man who had been the last chapter in his father's life. And it was Mancini, still carrying the guilt, finally finding a way to share his truth. Kim Duk-Koo's death didn't just leave scars on the people around him. It changed boxing itself. In the weeks that followed, the Nevada State Athletic Commission moved quickly. Referees were told, "Stop fights sooner. Protect the fighter above all else." They even considered giving boxers longer breaks between rounds, 90 seconds instead of 60, though that was later scrapped. The standing 8 count was added, allowing referees to step in even if a fighter wasn't fully down, but clearly in danger. And new rules meant that any fighter knocked out would have their license suspended for at least 45 days. The World Boxing Council went even further. At its 1982 convention, it announced sweeping medical reforms. The biggest change? Reducing world title fights from 15 rounds to 12. It was a decision made directly because of Kim. The WBA and IBF followed in 1987, and when the WBO was formed the next year, it adopted the 12-round format from day one. Medical checks also transformed. Before Kim, most fighters only had their blood pressure and heartbeat tested. After Kim, things changed forever. Electrocardiograms, brain scans, lung tests. The sport began taking the human body seriously, and the reforms didn't stop there. In Nevada, after 2 more deaths in 2005, new measures tightened even further. Strict rules on weight cutting, mandatory hydration, glove standards, 3 doctors at every event, and medical checks before, during, and immediately after every fight. By 2016, brain health testing became mandatory. Since then, no fighter has lost their life in a Nevada ring. All of these changes trace back to that November night in 1982. Kim Duk-Koo may not have left the ring a champion, but his fight forced the sport to protect its warriors better than ever before. His legacy is written not only in history books, but in the safety of every fighter who steps into the ring today. And that was the story of Kim Duk-Koo, a fighter whose dream ended too soon, but whose legacy reshaped boxing forever. Sometimes the greatest impact isn't in victory, but in the change left behind.